Hello, everyone. I'm hoping everyone can hear us and see us. Can you give us a thumbs up? Should we go?
Yeah, I think we can start.
Good evening and welcome to our Black Friday webinar brought to you by Nuecleo and Lulibo Market. My name is Olwethu Mhlana and I am joined this evening by my co-host and business mogul, Cleo Johnson.
Tonight, we are breaking down some strategies to help you prepare for Black Friday and holiday season by optimizing your online store and maximizing your sales. I hope you have your tea ready, your notebook handy, and ready to dive into tonight's session.
We do encourage everyone to interact by using the chat box, as I can see that people have already started. You may ask questions, share insights, and later on network. Please also note that we will be sharing a free workbook with everyone after the session, where you can really start your preparations. The workbook includes strategies, industry tips, key concepts and considerations, checklists, and a note section for you to actively work on implementing everything that you have learned today for your business.
Great. So I think I'll start from my side. For those that don't know me, I am Cleo Johnson. I help aspiring entrepreneurs launch, structure, and grow their online businesses. I'm the founder and CEO of Nuecleo and award-winning businesswoman. I have been an entrepreneur for the last 4.5 years, and my businesses span multiple industries from hospitality to e-commerce.
And as I mentioned earlier, my name is Olwethu Mhlana. I am the founder and CEO of Lulibo Market and The Collective. We are an online marketplace that connects customers all across the country with high quality, locally sourced products and services from Black-owned brands. We also serve as an agency for creatives, service providers, and entrepreneurs to find each other, collaborate, and form strategic partnerships. Whether or not you're a fan of Black Friday, it is the biggest retail event of the year. And this year we'll see a record-breaking sales for online businesses as more and more customers ditch the long queues and flock online. This means that during this time and the next couple of weeks, your online store will be visited by more people than ever before. Preparation and a solid strategy are absolutely important when it comes to nailing your e-commerce strategy and maximizing your sales. Ideally, I know that during this time of the year, we'd like to think that all our marketing campaigns are ready to roll out, but we know that as solopreneurs and small business owners, we don't have the luxury of always planning ahead or outsourcing our marketing to big marketing firms. But please don't worry, you still have time. We're going to lay out a step-by-step guide for you to help you kickstart your Black Friday and holiday e-commerce strategy and supercharge your sales. Some of the topics that we'll be discussing today is website optimization, both the technical performance and the user experience aspects of it. We'll break down some practical tips on how to ensure your website can in fact handle high traffic volume. This is especially important as performance greatly influences user behavior and conversions during this time. We also want to look at what you need to start prioritizing in terms of optimization in the next couple of weeks. We will discuss how to perform a market analysis so that you can leverage current market trends and ultimately be the go-to for customers in your industry. We'll break down how to set up your logistics systems. If you are taking advantage of third-party logistics providers, good for you. Do you know that there are courier services that have specials during this time? What is your supply chain looking like? Is it optimized? We'll also be breaking down some customer service protocols during this time. If you're running a team, and especially for small businesses, we do know that sometimes the roles and responsibilities will overlap and there'll be some gray areas. But during this time, you want your team to be optimal. You want them to perform at their best self, and that means delegating tasks beforehand, knowing who will do what, who handles what, and when. And lastly, we'll be breaking down some marketing strategies and campaigns that you can start immediately. Are you utilizing multiple channels to directly engage with your customers? Do you have an email list? Do you have contingency plans? If one channel breaks down a couple of weeks ago, was it a week ago, Facebook broke down, and that was actually a scary situation for a lot of businesses that operate within that realm. But you need to have contingency plans in place so that if one system breaks down, you are able to directly engage with your customers.
I'm sure you guys see that we are going to have a jam-packed session this evening. Before we kick off with the first topic, I want you to answer in the poll section, I think it should be on your right-hand side, if you feel as though your online store could currently carry a big surge in traffic, and if you feel confident in its overall performance and user experience. Do you know the number of people who can check out at the same time using the current infrastructure you have in place? You can pop a yes or no in the comment box, as well as maybe just a little explanation if you can. Right, so I'm going to jump ahead and get us started. And I always like to start things from a bigger picture aspect and looking at a few numbers. So in 2020, over the Black Friday season or period, essentially, there was a 60% increase in online transactions in South Africa. And that specifically is credit card transactions. Instant EFTs, QR codes, and mobile wallets are becoming more popular as consumers become more comfortable shopping online. We will touch on later on in the webinar about different payment gateways and how to ensure that you can meet the customer where they're at. A lot of customers aren't always comfortable using their credit cards online. And lastly, 52% is the average discount that would make a South African purchase a product. 70% of South Africans will be shopping this year's festive sales if the price is right. Now, I know for a lot of small businesses, you may not be able to offer 52%, so we'll touch on a few tactics that you can still be able to utilize during Black Friday. So ideally, we need to start with your offer. How are you going to structure your Black Friday deals prior to even getting into marketing or, the financial side of those things? Firstly, you need to consider duration. Are you going to be like a lot of the bigger stores essentially and running it for the whole month where they've got little deals throughout the entire month? You have the option of taking part for the full Black Friday and Cyber Monday week, or you can alternatively choose to only do Black Friday or only do Cyber Monday. Then looking at discounts, opt for at least a 40% discount, or as a small business, you can also inflate the price slightly and then provide a discount. There is the alternative of being able to use bundling. So if your margins are low enough in terms of the products or the services that you offer and you are able to group things, have a look at running bundle offers to increase the perceived value or savings of something. See Black Friday as a way to gain loyal customers for the next couple of months. Don't focus too much on profit, but look at the lifetime value of the client. Right, going into website optimization. Now, there's obviously the big chat between desktop versus mobile. And I can tell you that Africa is mobile only, with 66% of purchases coming from a mobile device. Please also bear in mind the infrastructure that we have on the continent, hence people obviously use mobiles in place of a desktop. When also having your site developed, please make sure that it is optimized and responsive. So your site should be able to be viewed on a mobile device, and it needs to look aesthetically pleasing as with the desktop version. Your site should load in 3 seconds, but please also note that in the country that we're in, and most of the users being on either between 3G and 5G, your site is then only going to load in 19 seconds. So please don't be too hard on yourself if you notice this in your speed stats. Compressing your images also help with website page speeds in terms of loading time. I know a lot of us love pretty pictures, but essentially it can also slow down your website speed and your page loading and can actually deter someone from staying on your site. Do review your checkout page and mobile load times. This will assist in minimizing your abandoned cart, and something we'll touch a bit more on a bit later on in our webinar. Abandoned carts are obviously one of the biggest reasons why a sale doesn't go through, and we need to be able to minimize that. Know when to expect traffic spikes. So for Black Friday, essentially between 8 and 11 are your peak periods. On the day itself, you can actually test surges with a 1 Rand price product to be able to see whether or not your site can actually manage the load. And then essentially, please do have your Facebook pixel installed on your site. I will touch again how important this is for especially your campaigns that you'll be running through social media.
It is also very important to understand your potential customers, how they think, their problems, the solutions they seek, and the path they take to solve those problems. The way you segment your customers and your buyer personas will vary depending on many different things, the market you're in, the trends, your competitors. But I find that a lot of businesses make the mistake of either boxing their customers into one group, or assuming that the buyer's journey is this linear process, which it is far from. There are a few touch points that we will look at in depth during the marketing section, but I want us to look at the buyer's journey as the kind of outline of your user's experience with your brand from the point that they discover that they have a problem to the point where they are holding the product, which is essentially the solution to the problem. So that means that you should be keeping your buyer's journey in mind from the moment you plan your website, the moment you're designing your website, you're designing your marketing campaigns and your initiatives such as your Google SEOs or your content creation. And there are prominent ways of ensuring that you are speaking to your specific customers and you are tapping into your specific customer persona and you're traveling, through that journey with your buyers. Some examples include, your content creation, your copywriting, on your website, for instance, when it comes to Black Friday, you want to have prominent banners and ads on your website that shows them that there is a sale and this amount of money is off, or there's a free delivery and all these different things that they can, you're speaking to that specific buyer. Another important factor to think of is offering value to your customers. So thinking of November as more of a month of harnessing and nurturing your existing clients. You want to give them some valuable tools such as gift guides. You want to give them free downloads. You want to offer them some value so that by the time Black Friday comes, they're thinking of your business as, a high value business. You want to make sure that you have your cross-selling and your upselling strategies in place to maximize sales. For instance, at Lulibo Market, we sell a variety of different products across different categories. And one way we use the upselling and the cross-selling strategy is, for instance, if a customer purchases a mug, for instance, we will add value to their purchase by encouraging them to purchase a bowl. And that is how we would upsell to that customer, right? But we also sell a bunch of different things. So one of the, shopping categories that we have and we list is food. So we might even suggest that they buy our hot chocolate. So you're not just upselling them, you're cross-selling them. You're making sure that you're adding value to their purchase. By the time that they check out, they've checked out with the mug, with the bowl, with hot chocolate. So you want to also review your product descriptions and your links. A great guideline is using the kind of like Amazon guideline when it comes to product descriptions. And a great product description will include the problem of, that the customer wants to solve, the solution that the product you're offering is giving. So you're not just going to list a bunch of specifications of the product. You want to take your product, your customer on a journey through that description. You have an opportunity during that product description to build trust with your customer. So you want to also store information such as your policies. What is your shipping like? How do they take care of that product? So there's a bunch of different ways that you can, really speak directly to your customers and your different, customer segments, as we mentioned. Another way of making sure that you are utilizing this feature is by updating your policies and your FAQs. especially during this time, a lot might change. Your delivery times may change, your return policies may change. There might be more popular questions that people are asking during this time. You want to make sure that you have all of those updated to also just build trust. You want to think of Black Friday as not just a day. You want to think of an opportunity to not just retain customers and to have those customers come back, but to be able to re-engage with them. So how do you speak to your specific customers? You find out who they are and you take them through a journey. So another really important point that I just want to quickly touch on in this section is if you have an SSL for your website, this can be a make or break, honestly, when it comes to your online store. We want to make sure that your customers are feeling safe when they're entering their addresses, their telephone numbers, their emails, and their banking details. So SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer. And in short, it is the standard technology that is integrated to keep a connection between one internet source and another internet source, especially when it comes to sensitive data that is being sent by those two systems. So making sure that you have those certifications on your website and that people can see that you have taken the extra step to make sure that their data is safe. And also making sure that you are looking at ways to avoid cart abandonment by checking a bunch of different things. Maybe it is an inability for your customers to create an account on your website. So for instance, a customer comes in and they want to purchase something and they click on it, but they can't save it and they can't come back to it. So looking at those tiny details and thinking of ways of taking your customer from I have a problem to this is the business that I choose to solve that problem. So on the next slide, you will notice that there is just a little image of how we kind of like envision the buyer's journey. But definitely, we will include all of this information in the workbook so that you can see for yourself and that you can study this and be confident when you implement these strategies in your own business. And then when it comes to market analysis, this is a priority that I think a lot of businesses kind of abandon during all times of the year. And this is something that you need to be constantly looking back at as a business owner, because you will find that sometimes you might not even be speaking to your target market anymore. The words that you're using, the content that you are uploading on your platforms might not even be geared towards or suitable to that target market anymore. So you want to do a market analysis that analyzes not only you and your business and your target audience, but analyzes your competitors. What are they doing? What kind of trends are happening in the market? So revisiting who your target market is, your customer persona. Are you still marketing directly to them? Is your ad copy still talking to them? Are you still using words that are, suitable for that, customer segment? Also reviewing what your customers and your competitors are doing leading up to Black Friday is a really important one. What specials are they running? Are you signed up to their newsletters? Do you understand what kind of content they're putting up there? What their gift guides are looking like? Compare your product and your services to theirs and look at literally what you are offering and what they're offering and comparing to see how you can become the option that the customer chooses. Okay, and they might also have blind spots that they're, not taking advantage of certain things in the market that you can really, leverage that. And I also want to just emphasize one point. When you're looking at your competitors, you're not just looking at your direct competitors. So you're not looking at the people that are offering the exact same service or product as you. So if you are a Takealot, you're not just looking at an Amazon type of store, you're looking at the alternatives, right? So you're looking at your indirect competitors, so the people that are offering services and products that are an alternative to yours. And then quickly, I just want to touch on the logistics side of it, because this is really another, I know I keep saying this is another make or break when it comes to online and e-commerce, because we think that when you are running an online business, there's few shortcuts that you may make as opposed to someone who's running brick and mortar business. But there are certain kind of like contingencies that you have to put in place as an e-commerce business owner that a brick and mortar business doesn't necessarily have to look at. In a brick and mortar business, a customer goes in, they look at the product, they buy it, they leave. As an online business, there are systems that you need to put into place so that that product gets from that shelf on your, on your product, on your online store to the hands of the customer. So that whole process needs to be seamless. And as an online retailer, your e-commerce platform will most likely have integrated inventory management software. So for instance, your stock levels and inventory will be automated. If it is not, I do urge you to look into those integrations and plugins. A lot of them are free, depending on what kind of website you are hosting your online store on. So just look at those plugins where you can automate as much of your systems as possible. Another big priority is analyzing, the data of your previous Black Friday if you're a business that has been running for a while. So looking at, your sales the previous Black Friday. What was popular? What was flying off the shelves? What are people actually tending to buy now? We've been through a pandemic, so there's new market trends. There are new things that people are kind of gravitating towards, like homeware or office things. So looking at those kind of like trends and, you're analyzing your own inventory and data sales as well. Do you have a reliable courier service? There is an interesting one. I think, Cleo, you might correct me if I'm wrong, but there is, Kudo Lockers are running a special from October to December, right? For 40 Rand on deliveries of extra small packages. So looking at other, courier services and seeing which of them are running specials, so you can take advantage of those specials as well. Looking at your suppliers and always keeping them in the loop when you're planning, making sure that you avoid disappointment as much as possible. Outsourcing to third-party logistic companies like Parcel Ninja or Parcelit, those are, really awesome because it helps you automate as much of your systems as possible.
Great. Guys, I know it's been quite a bit of information that we're taking in, so let us know that you are still alive. Give us a thumbs up or a yes in the comment section. And just quickly responding to Charlene's question saying, hectic guys, 40%, is 20% not enough of a discount on Black Friday? Unfortunately not. I've seen on multiple chat groups and just on Twitter alone how people are not really in favor of getting a 20%. It's something they feel that they can get any time of the year. So you need to make the offer, stand out. In case of, like I was mentioning, with small businesses, you can, like I was mentioning, being able to hike the price up a little bit and then give the 40%, so hike up by 20% and then give the full 40% discount. Or again, like I was mentioning, a bundle option. I know you have a nicer skin, so maybe doing a nice little, gift pack for December or for obviously Black Friday, like little hampers that people can take away, and obviously just grouping that and creating a saving based on that. And going into, speaking about products, do you know your margins is what we kind of need to touch on this evening. Finances are always scary for anyone, be it both personal or business finances. But you need to ask yourself, what does it cost to make a product or deliver a service? So bear in mind that your profit margins, and a good profit margin is about 10%. Anything less than, and also less than 5%, you really need to review your supply chain. You need to review who are your suppliers, where are you getting it from? Are there ways that you can cut down on labor perhaps? The profitability of your business relies on you knowing your costs and managing your processes to deliver your product or service. Don't forget the cost of packaging, labels, thank you cards, tissue papers, for example. I mean, something as if you're also in the service business, anything that requires you to run your business from a subscription side, these all add up in terms of what your cost of a product is. And essentially to work that out, you would have your revenue that you make made less your expenses, then divided by your revenue to work out the percentage. But this will be included in your workbook, so don't stress too much about the formulas. Right, and going into my favorite section is marketing and communications. So with that, guys, there's quite a bit, and like we've touched on it in the market analysis side of things, we need to kind of remember who our target markets are and are we still speaking to them. We can get a little carried away over a year or course of a year where we are trying to get into different markets and we kind of lose, I always want to call it our North Star when it comes to marketing and communications. So I'm going to give you my top 8 tips. Obviously in the workbook, there's a bit more of a thorough exercise that you will go through. But just from my side, know about our Black Friday deals as an email header is not good enough. 1 month leading up to Black Friday, offer value. Don't just push sales of products. Always you mentioned earlier on, in exchange for the emails, offer gift guides, ebooks, free consultations. Nurture the connection leading up to Black Friday. Don't focus on targeting new customers in November. Focus on the customers already engaging with your brand. So this could be people on social media. You could even look at adopting a DM strategy if you don't want to go the route of an email or if you don't have an email provider at the moment. Then we need to look at psychological hype. So this is what some of the biggest stores also do, is offering 10 to 20% off in November, but communicate you're going to have bigger savings on Black Friday. Customers will be more open to spending money. Note that October that we're currently in is a bit of a dead month for a lot of businesses. A lot of customers are actually withholding their money to be able to spend it in this period leading up to holiday season. So know that you can still find ways to quote unquote trick them into being able to spend their money with you. Number 4, like I mentioned earlier on, guys, your Facebook pixel is imperative. The success of your campaigns relies on this tool. Activate it in your business manager on your Facebook page and embed it on your site. If you don't have if you're not IT inclined, get somebody to do it for you. But also note that your Facebook pixel is extremely important when it comes to your social media advertising, especially tracking, the actions that your potential customers could have on your store. It tracks their behavior. Not only that, it assists in their retargeting campaigns as well. So if they've left your site, you are now going to start seeing more ads of your business they are going to start seeing more ads from your business. Then with social media advertising, you will need to increase your ad spend as all brands are competing for consumers' wallets. Guys, I know it's a little unfortunate, but see what you can allocate during this time. Review previous ad results and see which interest performed the best. You will use this data for your Black Friday ads, in November. And guys, just a note for all of you, boosting a post is not advertising. It is not targeted and is not structured. Boosting a post is just great to be able to get some more insights or to be able to reach a similar audience to who's following you at the moment, And then with regards to your email marketing as well, have an email go out every 3rd day, 2 weeks before Black Friday. Obviously not the same email, guys. Get creative, get strategic. If you have MailChimp, and for those of you that do use it, you can get up to 2,000 email subscribers and still use the platform for free, i.e. building your landing pages, putting in drip campaigns. So that is essentially you introducing yourself in the first mailer. The second mailer essentially could be you introducing some of your products and what you do. And the third one, you can be hitting them with an offer. You essentially want to be able to warm them up during this period before Black Friday. Guys, and then plan. Now, as you know, with social media, guys, please don't wait the day of to post something. Then you put on it to a side and create your social media content. So make use of Reels or TikTok, for behind the scenes or showing how a product works or looks on. So you need to be able to deliver an in-store experience online. And it's very difficult, especially in this day and age. A lot of people are more tech focused and they kind of need to get, the feeling of what does this, this shirt look like on me? Being able to zoom in and see the quality of the fibers that are there. Also being able to schedule your mailers, as like I mentioned again with your content as well for the month, using MailChimp or your preferred mailing suite. Using stickers in your stories to increase engagement as well is a great way to start driving engagement over this period. And then lastly, user-generated content. Have a look and repurpose content over this period of customer reviews and customers using your products. This builds credibility, especially for those that you are still trying to target to get them to purchase online. Craft a post-delivery survey that includes a section to rate your products or service. If you don't have the budget, approach micro-influencers willing to do a trade exchange for content or reviews. Guys, I know we jetted through that. I think we're just jumping to the next session. Guys, apologies for that. We just had to jump to a new session. But yes, so essentially that is all that we have touched on this evening. I know we've bolted through it, but trust me when I tell you that we've got about 20 to 30 pages of our workbook that is jam-packed, and you're going to get so much out of it that by in the next 2 weeks, that from 1st of November, you are ready to hit the ground running. So if you have any more questions, sorry, I know the session did take a bit, so always, I'm not sure if you've picked up anything.
Yes, so there was one from Charlene with regards to a discount saying, would 25% and free shipping be a better alternative to like a 40%?
Oh, and then free delivery. It could work, but then again, like I said, this is based on your current customer as well. If you know that you've run discounts in the past before, and you've seen an increase on, if you had a 25%, for example, see what you can do and maybe try to push for a 30%, because I can tell you, people are very disheartened when they don't see anything that really gets them. So maybe, like I was mentioning with your products, maybe do the bundle offer instead of then offering a full discount and say, this is maybe the 25% is the discount overall on 3 products, for example, and then offer the free shipping if you want to do it like that. Obviously, I'm not sure if you want to weigh in on that as well.
Yeah, I would also say, taking advantage of kind of like inflating your prices, perhaps a little bit, and then having that kind of grand 40% discount could work. I do think that, as you mentioned, big businesses do have, a bit of an advantage when it comes to these sort of things. They can afford, their profit margins are great. But when it comes to small businesses, I do think that trying to compete in that space is important, but also understanding that there is so much value that you can also add that big businesses might not necessarily have. They don't necessarily have the direct, as I said, direct engagement with customers. So that is something that you can really, take advantage of and just leverage that as a business, and make sure that by that time, maybe having small kind of discounts during that time, and also bundling your products, because they can, be sold in combos, which is a great kind of like value added benefit for customers as well.
And also, just as an encouraging word from my side, based on stats here in South Africa, people are actually more inclined to shop with small businesses to support them as well. So don't be afraid to take part in Black Friday. There are a lot of people that are very much on board with supporting small businesses. Like I just mentioned, right price, right offer, and you've got a customer. Guys, do you have any more questions? I see we've touched on Kudo lockers. Yeah, and it was 40 Rand. So essentially, I know the max length of your product or that you're shipping needs to be 60 centimeters. But yeah, other than that.
There is a question from Lulibo, which is, what is an acceptable discount as a new brand? I think with being a new brand, you're in a great position that not a lot of people might be acquainted with your prices already. So you can literally, be selling prices that might be slightly inflated during this time, and then have bigger discounts during Black Friday, because you will most likely be attracting a lot of new customers during that time in any case.
100% agree with that. And then I think Olwethu did mention as well, hike up your price, guys. If they're not familiar with it, that's the easiest way to be able to discount, and then just also be able to manage expectations and kind of see, are your prices actually being, purchased by the market or not? And you can actually tweak from there. Take a lot of business learnings from Black Friday as well. And this goes, like we had mentioned, with your infrastructure, with your payment gateways. What are people responding to the most? And again, with your Facebook pixel and having tracking on your site. So if you have a WordPress, for example, using a Jetpack or Monster Insights, and obviously Google Analytics, you'll be able to track these little behavioral actions on your site, so that going forward, especially for the rest of the holiday season, you can still tweak as you go along.
I also do want to touch on Lulibo's comment earlier on, where she did touch on, I recently ordered a product and it literally arrived after 7 days. And in that process, I heard nothing from the brand. I actually thought to myself, they don't really care much about the customer. And I can tell you one thing, guys, long delivery dates don't cut it. They aren't going to cut it right now. Like, customers are looking for convenience and they're looking for quickness. And the quicker your brand can deliver that product to the customer, the better chances that you have of retaining that customer in the future. And I do want to emphasize that you are looking at Black Friday not just as a day that you are selling your products and trying to clear your inventory or whatever. You are looking at a day of trying to create trust and build a new community of customers, because you want to make sure that whatever kind of specials or delivery or policies that you're running during that time, when it comes to like delivering your products and getting them in the hands of the customer in time, that speaks to your brand reputation. So I would say making sure that expectations are really leveled, that you have clear policies on your website with regards to delivery times and days and all of that. You can integrate software on your website where customers can track their orders and they know where it is at whatever time. And that's a really great tool that we use even at Lulibo Market. We use Africa for our shipment, and our customers can track their orders online and see, when their item is arriving, and they'll get that constant, feedback. So it's a really, really important thing. Really do look at a delivery. If you can really invest some time in looking at your logistics and delivery, that is really a good, systems to put into place and make sure that you are retaining your customers.
Yeah. I also just want to add on that, if you guys, especially for this period and, just because you want to be able to deliver a lot faster, the likes of a Courier Guy and a few of the other brands themselves, they actually have an option for smaller businesses that you kind of pay in advance. Essentially, you have credit and you get your bags and everything delivered. So if you do like 1,200, I think it's with Courier Guy, depending where you are delivering in the country, that could be roughly about 12 deliveries. And then it comes with your stickers and your bags and that. So maybe do that prep if you do have the funds to be able to do that. Alternatively, it's the likes of your Aramex as well. And one thing I did want to touch on was the Aramex. Guys, as much as it is also, it's 99 Rand and it's about 1 to 3 days, just note that your items aren't insured. So just please keep that in mind. If it's, a high value item or if it's something that can break, please make sure it's like packaged really, really well. The likes of a Paxi, yes, they may take longer, but their parcels are actually insured. So if you don't have any other way, of shortening your delivery time, just really communicate it quite well in your FAQs, use it on your banner at checkout when they're busy checking out, stipulate that Paxi takes X amount of days, or Aramex or Pudo Locker, whichever one you tend to opt for. So yeah, I'm not sure if there are any other questions with regards to Black Friday or what's going to be in the workbook. Do you guys feel like we've answered some of your questions? Do you feel a little bit more at ease, a bit more equipped? Or will you only feel that like essentially after you've gone through the workbook?
Absolutely.
Amazing. Great. Amazing, guys. All right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, Olwethu, unless you have any more closing remarks from your side, we are, the session was very helpful and will assist me not only for Black Friday, but amazing. And guys, in the workbook as well, I have included our details if you need to reach out to us for further consultation or assistance. So we really are here to help you and you're in really good hands. So yeah, here's all the best of luck for your Black Friday essentially season this year, as well as your holiday shopping. I trust that you guys are going to have an amazing sales, number one. And yeah, I look forward to obviously hosting more webinars for you guys. And please let us know as well. We'll probably send you a little post-webinar survey just to find out what more you want, training in from an e-commerce perspective. So yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I'm seeing the thank yous and the insights. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us this evening. We really do hope that you feel a little bit more confident and empowered and ready to, supercharge your sales. We are here. We will have our details in all of the in our workbook. And of course, you can find us on social media at Lulibo Market and at Cleo _ Anastasia _ Johnson. So please do reach out on social media. Just, tag us if you, took a picture of this or whatever. Make sure that you reach out, and we are very excited to have spent this evening with you. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.